Hi, welcome to Pagewheel. We're so glad you're here and we're really excited to see what you're going to build and how you're going to grow your business. Uh, it's always fun to get started with something new. The energy is there. And then the first step is account setup, which just kind of sounds really boring, but I promise we'll make this as painless as possible and as quick as possible. When you first log into Pagewheel after creating your account, just go ahead and click on the avatar in the upper right corner to go to your account settings. And if you're not an enterprise member, you won't see child account. You won't necessarily see the same menu here as we update things, but there will be a menu here and there will be personal information. And here's where we begin. First name, put your last name, your business name if you have one. You can change your password here and set some settings, but importantly, if you add your profile image here, then later when you're building your products or building your website and you choose to use the About Me section, if you have a personal brand, then Pagewheel will grab this image and automatically insert it for you. So you don't have to do that over and over again. So highly recommend you put your image here. And then if you have a logo, you can put it here. Same thing. The purpose is to allow Pagewheel to auto-populate it for you later. So you just have to upload it once and never again. But if you don't have a logo, don't sweat it. Don't let that get you stuck. If you're starting, you don't have to have one. You can just press on. The whole point of Pagewheel is to help you get going with the least amount of friction and decision making. So it's okay to leave things blank and move on if that's where you're at. So click looks good, that will save it. And then the next thing you want to move to is brand personality. Now, brand personality, so you may or may not have used ChatGPT or some other AI tool. If you have, you can kind of tell that it's AI. There's certain catchwords that it'll use. It sounds a little flat sometimes. It's rapidly improving, but they still have their own voice. And this is where, so even though we've added our Pagewheel magic on top of AI to make the websites convert higher, to be more attractive to your audience, you still want to make it yours or your brand's if you're not a personal brand. And this is where you can do that. And it reduces the amount of editing later, and you'll see why. So here's where you tell us more about who you are, what you do, who you help, what their desired end state is, because really that's what we do, right? We offer solutions to people's problems. And you can there's some drop down menus to help you out. We prefer that. We like to help you out and not give you a blank page at any point. So you can just click on through, just use plain language. And then down here in brand personality, this is kind of fun. You use these sliders to edit the voice. This is the default AI output, even though we've added some of our own. You don't necessarily want to sound like us exactly, but it works. We use it. But if feel free to play around with these until it most closely matches your style. And then, like I said, going forward, our AI knows to use your style and apply it to the output for products, for your websites, for social media and promotional assets. That's why it's worth it going through these settings. Saves you a lot of work later. Now, extra variation, all of these are optional. You don't have to do anything here if you don't want to, but definitely at least be aware it exists. So you can always come back to it and update it, change it, add to it later. Here's if you have content online, the AI can go ahead and check it out and look at stuff you've already put out there, get a feel for your voice and your style, and apply it to the output. Your brand foundation is just, again, a little more information. Just use plain language. What's your expertise? And look at our examples. You're a realtor and you love Jesus. So add a brand theme, right? Jesus. Okay, so the more specific you are, the more we can target your particular audience. And that's really helpful for conversions and for the output that you put here. If you're doing social media output, it helps teach the algorithms who you're really talking to and helps them put your things in front of your audience faster. So anything you can do here to tell a little more. If you're just starting from scratch and you're not exactly sure, that's fine. You can always, you don't have to do anything here. You can always come back and update it later. Custom domains, you don't have to have your own domain. We host the websites. You don't need anything more to get going. But if you already have a domain or you want to use a specific one, you get those from the typical places: GoDaddy, Namecheap, Bluehost. There's all kinds of domain and domain providers. If you already have one that you're using, say you have a blog or something like that, but you want to use it here, you can create a subdomain with that domain, which is kind of like this, the app.pagewheel.com. Our domain is pagewheel.com. The subdomain is app.pagewheel.com. You've probably seen that before, but that's what a subdomain is. If you don't know how to create a subdomain with your domain, go to your service provider, GoDaddy, Namecheap. They have tutorials, or you can just call them. They all have customer support. There's no bonus points for banging your head against the monitor for an hour trying to figure it out. Just call them, have them walk you through it, get your subdomain and plug it in here. Super duper fast and easy if you want that. But like I said, if you don't have one, it's okay. You don't need one. And yes, you can always add one later. All right. So that is for customizing your URL if you want to. Other setup, if you are list building, just building lead magnets and free offers for people, then you're ready to go already. However, if you're selling something, Pagewheel will not let you publish your sales page until you're connected to Stripe. But here on Stripe Connection, I'm already connected, but you'll see a button that says Get Connected to Stripe, which will take you over there and walk you through the account setup. And it's free. Just typical account setup, but definitely if people are buying things from you, you would probably like to get paid and receive that money, and we do that using Stripe. Final thing, as far as the setup, the whole point of building your business, or the greatest asset of your business is your email list. Over here where it says your list, here on this far left menu, I'm not clicking on it because I want to keep that information private of who's on our list. But if you click on there when you're first starting out, you'll see a similar menu here, but an option, instead of connecting to Stripe, it will be connecting to Zapier. And what is happening is when someone opts in or buys your offer on a Pagewheel site, Pagewheel will automatically send a delivery email, and you'll see that in a later lesson. And it will collect their information when they opt in or purchase. But that's it. Any further communication with your customers, if you do a weekly newsletter or something like that, will have to be through your email service provider. So you will see when you get to your list that you have an option to either download that information and then you can manually upload it to your email service provider, or there will be a button here that says connect to Zapier. Zapier is also free. It's a software that basically moves information from one platform to another. And you'll click that button, it'll say Pagewheel and an arrow, and then you'll find your email service provider. And what that does is once you have that connected, then anytime somebody opts in or you make a sale, their information will get automatically sent over with a zap to your email service provider. So you just set that up once and then you're done. Okay, what email service provider to use is one more question that I get asked pretty frequently. I look at their plans. Some of them, if you're bootstrapping, some of them offer free plans up to a certain amount of users or a certain amount of emails to send. I don't recommend any particular one over the other. And you can connect to all of them through Zapier. So you can just pick your favorite. And the which one is trending is a popular one to start out with, changes over time. But, they all work. It's fine. Don't spend too much time on that and just keep moving. All right, so that's it for getting started with Pagewheel. Just a few clicks, a little bit of information, and you are ready to go.